If you're in the place where you're trying to decide whether you want to go into teaching in schools or you want to teach privately, then this is the video for you. I only have experience of teaching privately, so obviously I am going to talk about that very specifically, but my choice to teach privately was very, very deliberate for the following reasons. The first reason I think is one of the biggest perks of it is that you can set your hours so much more. You can choose what days you teach on, you can choose what times, you can set your own prices, all that kind of thing. I have always known that I would quite like to work for myself and kind of set my own parameters. It's just how I operate most happily, and so therefore being in charge of my own schedule was super important to me. But the number one reason it was super important was that I needed to be able to cancel lessons, move lessons if playing work came up. I really didn't want a amazing opportunity to come along and then for me to have to turn it down because my school wouldn't let me move my day. That was just something that just really didn't sit well with me for what I wanted my career to be. So bear that in mind. When you are teaching privately, I have a clause in my T's and C's which says that I do fairly frequently cancel lessons, I will need to move them and all of that kind of thing. So far that has not been a problem with any of my parents. They actually really like the fact that I am a working musician, that I'm playing, that I'm out and about and doing things. You just have to be upfront with it. Obviously if I cancel a lesson, then I move it, I rearrange it, or I take it off like the next term's invoice, so I don't charge them for that lesson that I've missed. However, I do charge my parents when they cancel a lesson with less than 24 hours notice. Again, it's in my T's and C's, I'm very upfront about it. It just protects my income, which is vital. If you are working for yourself, if you're teaching privately, you have to protect your own income, because otherwise you can end up losing out on a lot of money if like a couple of kids are ill, all those kinds of things. You can suddenly find yourself losing significant amounts of money. Make sure that you are really protecting yourself in all of your T's and C's and all of that kind of stuff. Another really big bonus of teaching privately is that you can choose to no longer teach somebody if they are not fulfilling your requirements. I have stopped teaching students because they just didn't really practice enough and we weren't making any progress at all. It was a waste of my time, it was a waste of their time, it was a waste of the parents' money, and it was just not really working out. So you can actually say, you know what, I don't think this is right. Whereas again, if you're teaching in a school, you're kind of stuck with the students. So you just have a little bit more choice and control, for want of a better word, over your time and how it is spent. Consultation lessons are super important for so many reasons. You need to ascertain whether you are a good fit for them as a teacher, and you also need to ascertain whether they are a good fit for you as a pupil. I once basically refused to take on these two kids because when they came over to my house, their mum was quite frankly quite rude and also just let her kids run around all over my house in their shoes, which bothered me, and just opening up all of the cupboards. So yeah, that one didn't work out. And finally, and this is actually one of the things that I find the best about private teaching, and it's that you can tailor each lesson completely individually to that student. I have nobody standing over my shoulder saying, make sure they're achieving this, unless as a parent, obviously, but I don't have anybody saying, make sure you teach them this, do this, follow this. I can just talk to them and I can get to know them as people and actually get to know what they're interested in, what they enjoy learning. Do they want to do grades? Do they not want to do grades? Do they want to learn the music from their favorite video game? Do they want to get their grade 8 before they leave school? It's so individual, and I love the fact that I can actually do that and I don't have any curriculum to stick to or anything like that. It means that the students, I find, enjoy their lessons a bit more because they're actually learning pieces that they want to learn, and that is an absolute game changer. I really hope this video has been useful to you as you make this decision. It's a big one and it can really impact your career throughout its entirety, really. So I really hope that this has been helpful. If you haven't seen my video on whether you should teach or not yet, then give it a watch. I'll have it linked right here and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!